From the beginning, one of the things that I said to the guys, I said, for me, what's going to make this movie really work is access. I said, we have to get access. We have to get access to you. We have to get access to your lives, your world. You have to be willing to kind of open that up, because that intimacy is what's going to be, that is what will differentiate your movie from the other films that have come before you. And they were completely on board with it. There is a lot of trial and error in the editorial process. There's stuff that you love that you've shot that you're like, oh my gosh, this is such a great moment, or this is such a great scene, and then you start trying to put it in the cut, and you realize that you're jamming a round peg in a square hole, and you're like, this is never going to work here. And that's why the cutting room floor exists for a reason, and it's hard, it's difficult. But thank God we got DVDs now, because now there's like bonus features, and we can, oh my, that scene that we couldn't put there, look, we'll put it on the DVD, people are gonna love it. But it's hard, because you end up cutting great stuff out. And we shot 963 hours of footage for a movie that's 90 minutes. So there was so much good stuff that just didn't make it. One of the things that I think surprised me the most is how completely grounded they are, how normal they are in the midst of all this crazy insanity of a life that they have now. The fact that they have, managed to keep their wits about them and kind of stay focused but not become kind of corrupt by the industry, I think is remarkable. Part of the reason why I think they are so successful and are who they are is because of where they came from. They came from the humblest of humble beginnings, like where you see where they grew up in these tiny little houses in tiny little towns with these families that ultimately gave them the foundation to be courageous and chase the dreams that they're currently fulfilling. They come from good stock. So my mom would say. My mom would say, oh, they come from good stock, those kids. And they do. They came from moms and dads who really cared about them and supported them and gave them a great set of ideals. And I think that is now carried over into their band. And now that they're in this group, they have each other. So now each one of these guys has 4 other guys who are there to be their family now. So now it's not just young kids. Now they've started to age up into a very different demographic. And I think if that continues to happen, then and it continues to spread the way it is, it's only going to get bigger. And it's not like some Anglo thing. Like you think, oh, it's just in England or in America. Like when we were traveling through Europe and people were chasing the buses down the street. We were in Japan and there's hundreds of girls camping outside the hotel. Mexico City, there were 4,000 girls camping outside that hotel for 5 days straight. It was epic, unbelievable. It's the closest thing I've seen in my whole life to Beatlemania. I think the 3D of this film is technically spectacular. And I think the story, I'm really proud of the movie. I'm proud of the story that we tell because I don't think it's a fan movie. I think we've made a movie that will fulfill every desire that a fan could possibly have, but has really crossed over to a place where non-fans will really enjoy this movie. This movie is so fun, it's so funny, and it's a great ride.